Hello, everybody. This is Scott Egan with the Gray House Literary Agency, talking today about defining genres, and specifically we're going to talk about how to define the romance genre. And I think that this is an area that a lot of people struggle with. So we really want to kind of clear this up for you. First of all, you have to understand that the romance genre makes up a huge market in the fiction world. On an average, we're generally seeing about 55% of the market. The mass market media market, that is 55%. That's romance. That's a huge market. And romance has been around and will always be around for a long time. But we really need to understand kind of what romance is, because I think there are a lot of people out there who have tried to blur the lines on really what romance would be. When we figure out what your genre is, and this works for every single genre out there, what you want to do is look at the simple story arc of what you're trying to put together. Just the main story arc. So if you go back to that general structure that we have of the story arc, and I'm going to draw a really quick picture here, but you've all seen this before. This type of a chart right here, this simple, the basic plot structure, rising conflict, and everything like that. If you consider what that story arc is, and you identify if it is focusing on the relationship, that's the big thing. When we're talking about a romance, the romance itself, it's following the central story arc follows the building of the romance, and it goes from the beginning initiation phases of the romance all the way through the getting to know each other, those tough, difficult moments, and it progresses all the way through to the next element. And this is a key element when it comes to romance, is that there needs to be the happily ever after. And we need to have that closure in that particular book. A lot of people will sit there and they'll say, well, I've got the happily ever after, but it takes us 10 books to get there. Your readers are not going to be happy that way. They want to see that happily ever after at the conclusion of that book. Now, what does happily ever after mean? It's not... We want to know that when we close that book, that relationship is still continuing. Okay, we know that we have gotten them through this crisis, we've gotten them through this struggle, and guess what? They've gotten to the end. We know that they're going to be happy, that they're going to live a long, happy life together. Now, you notice what I said, living a long, happy life. So if your happily ever after is, wow, it's so nice, my husband's dead, but he died a peaceful death, and now I can go on and live my own life, guess what? It's not a romance anymore. So that's going to be the key thing. Now, when we talk about romance falls under a lot of different genres. We can have historical romance, romantic suspense, paranormal romance. It really doesn't matter. The key is the central story arc is the building of the romance. And again, the focus is on the happily ever after. I always know whether a person's got that romance or not when we're doing pitch sessions, and I have the person not read off of their notes, and they just simply tell me, what is your story about? And when they talk, if their focus is all on the external conflict of everything, and they're focused on the historical background or whatever else that might be, suddenly we find ourselves pendulally moving out of that romance genre. There are a lot of people out there writing stories with romantic elements. Essentially, these are not romances. These are stories that just happen to have some sort of a romance involved with them. They tend to be more plot-focused than anything else. So they're going to be your general fiction books that just happen to have some sort of a romance in them. Now, a couple different elements. First of all, when we deal with romance, it can be both from a guy's standpoint or the female standpoint. It really doesn't matter. Most romances are focused from the female perspective, so that's why a lot of people start to blur the lines and shove that into the women's fiction category. But for the most part, most of the romances are going to be told from the woman's point of view. That doesn't mean that they're in first person, but that's the general perspective, and that's the target that we're going to be looking at. The next element, and this is always the tough one, is, well, my story has sex in it, so that makes it a romance. Now, Not going to happen. A romance may or may not have the sex in it. And we can talk about various ranges of sexual content. You can have the sweet romances where there's absolutely none. You can have your inspirational romances, obviously, where there wouldn't be any. A young adult romance would not have any. But you can range that all the way up to the really highly sensual type of romances. That part is not the major factor. Again, whenever you're looking at what the romance is, we're just simply saying it is that central story arc. We are watching the building of a relationship. Okay? So in a couple other episodes later on, we'll talk about things that go into characters in a romance and whatnot, but that should help you out. If you don't write romance and you're thinking, I wonder what my storyline is, again, go back to that chart. That chart's got it all. Tell me what your central story arc is about. If it's about a thriller aspect of it and a crime sequence, then guess what? You're looking at the thriller crime aspects. If it's about a group of elves wandering through on an epic journey, the odds are you're probably talking fantasy. So that's going to be the big focus there. Best of luck. And again, remember, Grey House, that's what we represent here. We're representing romance in women's fiction since 2003. I will see you out there at conferences, on my blog. Visit my website, www.greyhouseagency.com, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.